Happy Tuesday, everybody. Let's do a quick update and let's start with Nasdaq 100. You can see what's happening. We are making a new high. Actually, we did make a new high. And RSI, this is RSI indicator. Now it's showing divergence. So this is momentum indicator. You can see RSI is making lower high, price is making higher high. So that means we got to be a bit careful here. Also, this is a trend line since 9th of January. If I draw this trend line like this, you can see we're getting very close to backtesting this trend line, and we can still go a little bit higher from here. So from here, we can still go around 2% higher, but eventually looking for a pullback. Okay, and if we do get a pullback, this area here, let me draw a rectangle. This area here is an ideal area to get a pullback and get a support. All right. And on triple Qs, that area here is this gap fill. If I go to 1 hour chart, there is a gap. No, not this gap, sorry, this gap. If I hide regular trading hours, so you can see this gap here around 380, 360, 385, I think. Yeah. And also today, also on 1 hour chart, we had a gap up. And this gap will also be filled. I don't know when, but soon it should be filled. Ideally, maybe tomorrow. Let's see if it fills, but that's what you should be looking at. Anyhow, looking for this to top probably by end of January and end of December, early January, and get a pullback. All right. So this is what I'm expecting on triple Q SPY, which is S&P 500. Same thing. Looking for this to top out very soon. Maybe around 480s. It can still go a little bit higher, but again, you can see made a new high on a divergence. All right. So even on SPY, we are having a divergence here. And PPO is not showing that, but you can see divergence is there. But also on 1 hour chart, if I see there's a gap here around 455, so looking for that gap to fill in maybe January, February. Let's see how long it takes. From where we are now, that gap fill is around 4% away, so that's possible. So anyhow, so S&P 500 is making a topping process. Be careful. And if I go to ES, anything above, I think ES has potential to go maybe a little bit more higher. It can still, sorry guys, I'm not feeling too well, but it can still go a little bit higher from here. ES can go slightly higher to around 48, 80. It's possible 1% higher, but that's going to be an amazing shot. All right. And also you can see on futures, we have a gap up here on ES. So be mindful of that as well. So I'm looking for an ideal range around 4,500 is a ideal support area when we get that pullback, something here. So whenever we get this pullback, this is where I will be looking for a support. All right. So that can happen probably. Um, it can start pullback can start starting mid-January or so, right? So you can see background light green, very overbought short term. Okay, so this is not, you got to be careful here. And on S&P 500, 500, you can see this trend line. If I draw, you can see we're just back testing it. So still a little bit higher. It can go from here. Still, it can go a little bit higher, around 1%, and then looking for this again, the same thing here. If I draw a nice support line here, looking for this to back come here, look for support here. All right. So anyhow, so be careful guys, it's just making a topping process, S&P 500, and I'm looking for this pullback, and I should be looking to buy on this pullback. All right. Crude oil doing as expected, a little bit more pump possible. Now there is a little bit resistance coming here, right where it is right now here. All right. You can see if I draw this line here, no, something like this. Yeah, coming reaching a resistance area, but if that's crossed, this is where it is right now. If that's crossed, then next target is around 80 bucks. All right, so any pullbacks look to buy. All right, but looking for a bounce. CNQ reached our targets. There were two gaps I shared with my private channel. There was this gap here around 67.84 that's filled, then another gap around 66 that filled, but it left a gap down. Okay, so looking for a little bit, it can go higher, but eventually it's going to come back to fill this gap. So I took all my profits on CNQ. It was a really good trade. Apple, little bit bearish, but you can see we got a red sell signal RSI. Green line is below red line on PPO, and it's putting downwards pressure. There are a couple of gaps to fill, so still a lot of possible moves to the downside. Gold by the dip, looking for a pullback now. Now it's pumping, so looking for this to have a higher low, maybe in January, and then we'll go higher. Silver also in the support area. So let's see, maybe a little bit pullback and then go higher. Natural gas, doing exactly what I expecting. So a little bit of a pullback from now until January, then bounce, and then another pullback. I want to see some divergences. I want to see a new low with some higher momentum on RSI and PPO. Bitcoin down in the resistance area, so and you can see massive divergence on RSI and PPO. So it's expected. So you guys know by now that I'm bearish on Bitcoin. So looking for more downside. You can see green line is below red line. Nothing new. BTC futures, CME futures. Let it load. It's taking a while, so let's give it a little bit of time. Trading view sometimes is very slow. Here you go. So there's a gap here, but I think they decided to go towards the down gap. Um, so right now it's in the middle. So there's a gap up, gap down. Maybe it's gonna fill this 39,420 gap first before it goes higher. So maybe that's what we are looking for. So it's right in the middle. Ethereum futures gap down, and there's a gap around 2322. Then there's another gap here around 1850. So be mindful of that. So it could go from here, fill this top gap. That's quite possible, and then go down. Maybe it will do same thing for sorry, BTC futures. So it can do the same thing there as well. So let it load. Let's see, here you go. So looking for something like this and then come back down. All right. So that's Bitcoin. Hang Seng Index. There's a gap here. It's a gap fill of 161.970. That's what I will be looking to buy. Bond is just flagging, so looking for pullback, buy the dip. Um, I'm going to skip commodities today. Tesla. Um, Tesla is 1.61% up. Let the chart load. Loading. Not sure what's happening with TradingView. Looks like it's frozen. So let me maybe pause a bit and then I'll come back. Here you go, Tesla chart. You can see this downward trend line broke out, back test. Now it's above all moving averages. This green line is 10 moving average. It's above that as well. Netflix also above all moving averages. Now in the resistance area with massive divergence on RSI. You can see price making a higher high. This is making lower high, so be careful. Microsoft also above all moving averages, but again, not, yeah, divergence. You can see this new high was on a divergence. All these gaps to the downside. Google also new high, and let me see if I can make a better trend line here, something like this. Okay, new high on divergence. You can see new high, but RSI is showing massive divergence here. Okay, so all tech stocks are showing massive divergence, so be a bit careful here. Meta also, you can see now there's a gap around 362. Maybe it will fill that and then come down. Amazon also just flagging. No divergence yet, which is good news on Amazon. So Amazon is looking bullish than all of the stocks. So look to buy all the pullbacks. Snowflakes in the resistance area, and NVDA gap down. There's a gap here around 488. Maybe it wants to fill that. Okay, guys, I'm gonna keep it short today, and good luck. Take care. Bye.